Hi guys, very warm welcome to all of you in this brand new session of your Hindu Aeon reading comprehension. I hope you've all joined in and that I'm live and audible and visible. I will quickly do a sound check and then we can just get started with our session for the day. Always very excited to start these sessions every morning. In the meantime, let's also carry on with the announcements and such like things also. Oh, we are live. Wonderful. All right. Remember to use AbhiCat Live to subscribe to Unacademy and to, take your subscription and start your CAT preparation. Use AbhiCat Live. All right. Here are two wonderful batches that start today. The Vision batch for CAT 2022 starting March 9th and the Road to Success batch for CAT 2002 starting March 9th today too. So, शबाना मैम से पढ़ना है या हमसे पढ़ना, बात एक ही है खैर. Anyway, convenience dekho and then get started. My batch starts at 8 p.m. tonight, guys. We are going to be doing beginners VARC, so covering reading comprehension, para-based and grammar within this same course. So you will be able to kickstart your CAT preparation in a very good way with this batch. So do make sure you're coming in and do make sure you're starting your prep right away. Okay, the Road to Success batch. Remember, use AbhiCat Live to subscribe. All right, exciting news for our CAT and OMIT aspirants. So if you buy a plus subscription, one, you get a 10% discount on the Educator code. Two, on top of it, you get a complimentary campus placement of the IT jobs subscription worth so much amount. So if you buy a 12-month subscription, a 22,550 course costs you 2295 because you use my code also. That's AbhiCat Live. On top of that, you get 6,000 rupees worth of course for the IT job subscription, right? The campus placement. So you end up saving a total of 8,255. That's amazing. And this is a great offer for you guys. So please do this, grab this deal today. It's only valid for a very limited time. So do take advantage of this amazing offer that we have going on. Also, last chance to get into the top B schools through Mahaset. So you can subscribe to the target batch for Mahaset. Udit, Ronak, Ravi and Ritu are all going to be part of this batch. So yeah, get this started. And then your plus subscription for MBA aspirants is available. Like I already told you, you've got amazing plans going on. Iconic is the ice cream on top of the, or the cream on top of the milk, or the ice cream on top of whatever, the ice cream on top of the softy cone or whatever, because one, you get all the benefits of plus. On top of that, you get a lot of extra live mentoring sessions. So you get one-to-one live doubt solving by experts, you get one-to-one live concept discussion with experts, and you get one-to-one live mentorship by top B school graduates also. You can book a slot at your convenience. Also, you can book a slot in a language of your choice. So amazing things going on at Unacademy. So the Unacademy Ask a Doubt is now available on the website also, guys. That's number one. Number two, you can ask up to 3 doubts at a go. So you can post 2 additional doubts while you're waiting for the solution to come. Okay. Then on top of that, you get solutions in your preferred language. So you can choose the language that you want the solution in. As well, if you find that you are not satisfied with the solution, then you can go to request a review, get a review request file and wait for another answer to come, or for the review, for the solution to be reviewed. So amazing things happening on Unacademy Ask a Doubt also. All right, let's get started with our article for the day. Here are our words, 7 of them, very lovely words for today. Jarring, of course, means very harsh or discordant. Jarring sound, that's how you hear it. So a jarring sound is a very harsh sound, जिसे सुन के हम डर जाते हैं. Discordant होता है. Cacophony जिसे कहते हैं. Cacophony, that's a jarring sound, right? Jarring, harsh. Surreal is something that is unbelievable, fantastical, imaginary. It's not real, right? Surreal hai. So real nahi hai. So unbelievable hai. It's just, some things are surreal, right? So that's unbelievable. Sleuth, of course, is a detective. Behest means command or request. So at my behest, you are going to be doing certain things. So that is called command or request. Lacuna, of course, is the problem. तो किसी चीज में क्या lacuna है, क्या problem है, क्या issues हैं, क्या gaps है, that's lacuna. Premise, of course, means concept. This is the premise we are working on. This is the concept. This is the idea that we are working on. And sanctity, of course, means sacredness. How sacred, how important, how relevant is something to you. You do not destroy that. The sanctity of national symbols is just too much. You cannot play around with them. So that's sanctity, sacredness, holiness. Okay. So here are your very lovely words for the day: jarring, surreal, sleuths, behest, lacuna, premise, and sanctity. Let's look at our article, A House of Cards on the NSE probe. I really found this NSE probe thing to be very interesting. And so today when I found another article, I said, yes, let us discuss this. It's going to be fun. So the Sunday evening arrest of Chitra Ramakrishna, the former MD and CEO of India's largest stock exchange, by the Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI, should change the course of what has been a laid-back probe into alleged misuse of exchange data by market players and jarring, even surreal governance lapses. So there have been huge lapses in the way NSE is working, how they're sharing their data with their stockbrokers and such like, how the government is very laid back, how there are lapses in governance, how the investigation was happening in a very lazy manner. 40 months they took to investigate. They really cannot happen that you take 40 months to investigate. So anyway, so now that the CBI has taken over the probe, it's going to probably go faster. The lady has already been arrested. A Delhi court has granted CBI sleuth 7 days to interrogate the former NSE boss, about a month after the stock market watchdog SEBI passed a 190-page order that had made headlines. So SEBI passed out a 190-page order a month ago. Now they have arrested the lady. So the order made headlines for its assertions about Ms. Ramakrishna sharing confidential information, internal information with an unknown person. So yes, there was some unknown yogi sitting in some Himalaya with whom Ramakrishna was sharing sensitive information through mails. Separately, the CBI has got extended custody of Anand Subramaniam, the NSE's former group operating officer, hired ostensibly at the behest of the unknown yogi. Very interesting. Disregarding the kind of internal controls and governance norms one expects from an institution of such systemic importance in the financial markets. NSE, the National Stock Exchange, is one of the leading stock exchanges of the country. So how is it that the group operating officer, one of the most important posts in this company, in this organization, and the man is hired by just one person interviewing him? So there is something very fishy here, right? And all that fishiness has to be checked. So the catchy details must not detract from the larger question arising from the deployment. So yes, this is very interesting, catchy details, very full of masala for all of us. Oh, why was this lady listening to that random yogi, and what is the yogi's input on, in all of this? But yeah, that's all very interesting, but there are very important questions at, stake here. So the catchy details must not detract from the larger questions. And what are the larger questions? Arising from the deployment of co-location services and the lacuna in India's oversight mechanisms over its capital market, reflected in the multi-layered failure to crack down on the wrongdoings at the NSE. So co-location, sharing co-location information is very unfair, right? Now, if that is happening and that is allowing certain people to get advantage of the stock market and others not to do it, then that cannot be a fair thing. So why is it that such a big organization was allowing co-location data sharing? And if it was, why is it not legal for everyone to get that same data? There are many questions at risk here. The co-location services offered by the NSE, which gives market operators willing to pay a premium a head start on exchange trading data and refine their own algorithms for high frequency trades, are permitted by SEBI but were ostensibly misused by certain players. So co-location services are given to, let's say, big stock market players. They pay extra money to the stock market. They get the stock market data, let's say, half an hour in advance. So they already know at what price point the stock market is going to open. Let's say stock market opens at 9, they know at 8:30 what the stock market is going to do. So obviously they will be ready with their tweaks, with their buying, with their selling. Advantage. Now this is something that is permitted by SEBI, but how was this misused, and this was severely misused by certain players? That's the interesting question. The NSE's case entails an unfair advantage provided to some brokers within its co-location user community. Now, within the co-location user community also, some brokers of the NSE were getting extra advantage. So, एक तो आप premium pay करके advantage ले रहे हैं जनता के ऊपर, और फिर there are some special brokers who are being given extra information. So super information on top of the co-location also. That's interesting. Whatever the defenders of such services may say, the premise of giving players with deeper pockets, quicker and more information than the average retail investor does not gel with an open market philosophy. That's cheating, guys, right? That is what we will say. It does not go well. You imagine you buying shares at 9 a.m. The stock market opens at 9 a.m. with that first bell, that big bull trader on whatever channel he is does. And here you are, some people have already done all their buying and selling at 8:30. So that's an unfair thing. If you have an open market policy, then have it open all the way. Otherwise, you cannot do that. That institutional mechanisms are very interestingly, I found out about this just when I read this article. I had no idea that this could be done. I'm sure many of you also don't know. That institutional mechanisms from the NSE's boards and auditors to SEBI, an independent regulator accountable to Parliament, have not delivered. None of these parties have come out and said that this was being done. Is a larger worry. All of these big parties, nobody said anything. Nearly 3 years have passed between SEBI's 624 crore fine on the NSE for misuse of its co-location services and the latest order against its former top brass. So 3 years have passed since SEBI passed the order. Okay, 640 crores का fine लगाया था, अभी तक कुछ हुआ ही नहीं है. A matter where the sanctity of the entire market comes under a cloud should have been treated with a tad more urgency. You should have been a little more urgent about it, right? The CBI Special Court has observed that SEBI, which began this probe in 2016, has been too kind and gentle. So interesting. SEBI was being too kind and gentle. Why? While the CBI, after filing an FIR in 2018, has been most lackadaisical. Very interesting. So the CBI Special Court says that SEBI was being very kind and gentle to these people, to these criminals, and they are criminals, guys. And CBI was being very lackadaisical. They didn't care what was happening, right? So the court is saying this. With a new SEBI chief in place, the government led by the finance minister, who is reviewing the handling of the NSE case, must ensure some deterrent action is accompanied by a review of checks and balances in current governance structure. So government needs to pull on its boots, batten down the hatches and get started and do something about it. Get enough checks and balances so these things don't happen. One woman with an email sending out millions of rupees worth of data to random yogis sitting in the Himalayas. Oof, that is so fake, I tell you. So anyway, so that was your article for the day, which is the main idea of the passage. There are huge wrongdoings at NSE. Arrest of NSE former CEO does not raise a hue and cry. The stock market has a terrible run. NSE and the entire stock market needs a new beginning after COVID-19. Come on, guys, let's get your answers in. In the meantime, let me say hi to everyone. Guys, I hope you all liked the session. Maestro artists, Harsh, Kshitij, Anveshita, Aman, Asmita, Nick, Satun, Amrita, Motivation, KK, Swayashi, Krishna, Sudha, Dishani, Ashvi, good morning. Archit, good morning. Indrajit, Avinash, very good. I've started getting my answers. Kshitij, good morning. I know, Nick. Obviously, are you expecting me to get up at 5 a.m., get out the newspaper, frame questions? That's not happening. These are always of the previous day only. Uh, I am not one of those morning people who will get up at 5 and be all bright and shiny. No, no, no. So as a rule, I take up the previous day's newspaper only, so I know everybody has read it. Also, if you look at your set of people, nobody gets up at 5 o'clock, reads the newspaper and is all ready. So they're all ready with the previous day's newspaper only. So that's why we do this. Yeah, you got it. All right, yes. NSE and the entire stock market needs a new beginning after COVID-19. We are not talking of COVID-19, eliminate. The stock market has a terrible run. We're not worried about the run of the stock market, whether they're doing good business or not. Arrest of the former CEO does not raise hue and cry. Well, yes, but that is not our concern. So yes, there are huge wrongdoings at NSE and that's our concern. That's the passage talking about, right? So huge wrongdoings at the NSE, also at the CBI, according to the CBI Special Court. Probably they're just lackadaisical. They have too many things to investigate. Which of the following can be inferred? So one of these can be inferred. Let's take a look. NSE CEO has been arrested. Subramaniam was hired at the order of a yogi. Co-location services deployed by NSE. Co-location usage is unfair for the small investor. Come on, guys. Good morning, Gaurav. Everybody, please remember to hit the like button. Yes, come on, guys. Co-location usage is unfair for the small investor. The NSE's case entails an unfair advantage provided to some brokers within its co-location community. Whatever the detractors of such services may say, the premise of giving players with deeper pockets, quicker and more information than the average retail investor does not gel with an open market philosophy. So this, guys, is already mentioned in the passage and can be inferred. So some inference can happen that it doesn't gel with the open market philosophy. So if it doesn't gel, then yes, is it something that should not be done? Correct. So yes, co-location services are deployed by NSE was mentioned, so it is a fact, so cannot be my answer. Subramaniam was hired at the behest of a yogi was mentioned, cannot be my answer. And the NSE CEO has been arrested was also mentioned in the passage, so cannot be my answer. So I don't know if you got D. Let me check if you did. Yes, oh, so many of you did get D. All right, okay, wonderful. Yes, I can see a lot of D's here. Thank you guys. You guys are the best. All right, what is the tone of the author? The NSE's case entails an unfair advantage provided to some brokers within its co-location user community. So the writer is saying that here when you give this co-location advantage to some brokers and then on top of that you give them extra advantage also to certain people only, that's unfair. So that is an unfair advantage provided to some brokers. What should the tone be here? Should it be delighted? Should it be condescending? Should it be opinionated? Or should it be factual? Come on, guys. This one is an easy one. Delighted to nahi ho sakta. Delighted of course means happy. So no. Condescending, looking at someone at an in an insulting manner. You, how can you even do that? So I'm superior, you're inferior. That is condescending. So when I will say something to an inferior person or who I feel is an inferior, I will talk in a condescending tone. So not condescending. Factual hai nahi, kyunki unfair advantage entails an unfair advantage is not really a fact. So opinionated, and that's your correct answer. So yes, C. I hope you all got C. Yes, I am seeing some C's. Very good, very good. All right, what is the meaning of lackadaisical? Is it fiduciary? Is it to sever? Is it careless? Or is it harsh? Lackadaisical. Guys, today we have a lot of classes going on. Our quiz will happen at 6:30 today. Okay, so it's happening at 6:30. It is not happening at 12. So do make sure you're joining in. We've started the GDPI batch, you know that yesterday. So anyone who's planning, who's preparing for GDs and interviews, you know there is a separate goal within which you can join. Remember to use CAT Live. तो वो भी है. आज से हमारा नया बैच भी स्टार्ट हो रहा है, बिगिनर्स बैच. So anyone who wants to join the beginners program, you're more than welcome to come. If you did take some amount of the beginners classes in the month of February, then you should come and do these classes also. They will be very helpful for you. Okay. Perfection batch is on at its regular time, so wo to hai hi hai. All right, very good. I think you know the correct meaning. Lackadaisical is, of course, careless, disinterested, okay, and so on. So yes, harsh we know is very strict. Sever means to cut. Fiduciary, of course, is based on trust. So any relationship that's based on trust is a fiduciary relationship. A master servant relationship is a fiduciary relationship. All right, like I said, today this class, the vocab quiz will happen at 6:30 p.m. guys. So do make sure you're joining in at 6:30 for this class. Okay, and rest of the classes will happen as per schedule. I hope everybody has liked the session. Remember to hit like, share and subscribe. That's important. Oh, मैंने एक पेज आगे बढ़ा दिया है. Yep, remember to hit like, share and subscribe, and also remember to use CAT Live and get your 10% off on this. ठीक है ना? तो ये ज़रूर से कर लेना. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining in. Remember, your first class will start at 3:30 with the GDPI batches. If you're not part of the GDPI batches, that's a separate course. Don't worry, okay? Don't panic. Anyone who's studying for CAT 22 is not part of the GDPI courses. Your classes for CAT 22 perfection batch at 5 p.m., 6:30 p.m. quiz, and 8 p.m. we've got the new batch, the Road to Success batch, starting off with the orientation into the CAT details. So do join in. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day. Adios, mere amigos.